going into space from space. We just came from space. The implication, I don't know if anyone else knows this, but the implication has always been that we have come from space.
You think we're beaming down?
Yeah. What are you imagining when we snap into frame?
We're being flung forward
magic.
back in time.
You went time, I went space.
I think, well, to me, that's more of a fall over when you land type of thing.
Oh, I just don't want to be uncomfortable. I didn't...
See, I grew up on the Star Trek model, which, you know, made teleporting a very calm
Do you see my
process.
eyes? Like, I just felt my eyes space out. I was like, oh, Star Trek, here we go. It's going to be
Star Trek,
long.
yawn.
I like how calm it is, but I don't know that I want to hear about it, you know?
Like, I mean, really, Star Trek should be calming because it hits the ground running with a position of, in the future, everything is calmly managed.
There's a future.
Yeah, there's a future.
Wow,
and
really
in that future, people aren't racist or sexist, and it's okay to be bald. And that's the idealized future that Gene Roddenberry imagined for all of us. We've all got our shit together and we're operating on the same page, and we are moving forward in the pursuit of peace and knowledge. Of course, that's not how it's going to go down. Instead, it's going to be a handful of billionaires competing to face fuck each other over a series of meaningless goals while the rest of us scrabble around on our hands and knees and some of us defend them on Twitter. It's very confusing.
Alexis, that's the perfect transition because I actually wanted to do this bonus episode about, let me get this right, billionaires in space.
Fuck, it's like I looked at your notes, but I didn't. I just came from the future and read them in advance.
All right, so it's time travel. All right, so I'm pretty sure everybody has read about our boys, your Bezos, your Branson, and your Musks trying to go to space. Now, 2 out of 3 have done what is debatably space. So I'm just gonna run through the stats and then we're gonna discuss why this is fucking fucked and that space is fucked and it's not a fucking solution and we can't go there and it doesn't represent hope, it represents our fucking failure as a fucking planet. So let's do this. Branson. Virgin Galactic. I think he might be a ginger secretly under all that.
That motherfucker has been telling us that we're going to be able to holiday in space for like 30 years now.
I know, he's very
Jetsons. Never happened.
He's very like, well, I think he's Bezos kicked him into gear. So Branson actually made it first. He took the Virgin Galactic Spaceship 2, which obviously the first one is dead and probably killed people. I don't know, we'll check that. We'll put that in the thing.
We'll find out Spaceship 1 is...
That boy flew to suborbital space, which we will not pretend to understand, but I have got a note about what that means. Bezos flew in the Blue Origin New Shepard, which is all kinds of allusions to taking you up and like the sheep.
Oh yeah, you're gonna take us with you, Bezos?
No, he isn't. He's gonna take
packages on the moon.
They also flew to suborbital space.
I don't know, does that sound
like my
somewhat falling short of orbital?
Yes, it absolutely does, and I will get to that in just one moment. And then so Musk, our boy Musk, who has ruined grimes for everybody, is gonna fly, hasn't happened yet, the SpaceX the Dragon into, I think, proper space. So what we're gonna...
I love how, like, the fact that these guys have named their spaceships using the same naming convention that rad gamer companies use for video cards.
It sounds like a fucking name generator from my orc thing.
I'm like, oh, what's your new fucking motherboard? It's an orbital dragon. And then there's a series of letters and numbers, and the letters are all X's, and that's what you've got.
And that's why they're the coolest people.
Yes, I'm imagining, I saw Bezos' ship, Jesus Christ, but I'm imagining Musk's ship looking like a Razer keyboard or something like that. It's got like green LEDs down the side.
Someone sent me a link to a video essay that explains why, computer design is like that. Like, it can't be all form. There's got to be a reason that it all looks so disgusting, and it's very hard to find.
So do all the LED lights on my computer make it go faster?
No, baby.
But if it was red, it would go faster.
Absolutely,
right?
yes.
Orc science. So, Josie, you say suborbital, and to me, I cannot think of that as anything but inferior to orbital.
Yeah, look.
So, lay it on me. What is suborbital? Is this bullshit space? Is this like edging for space travel? Is that what we're talking about?
So edgy. Basically, get ready, space nerds. We're gonna butcher this. So look, just get angry in the comments.
If you are an actual rocket scientist, let us know how wrong we are in the comments below. We would love to hear from you.
Have you seen that sketch, which is just like, well, it's not rocket science, and then it's not brain surgeon comes in? Have you seen that? Anyway, I'll put a tiny clip here. So There is a thing called the Kármán line, and that is the like definition of space. Apparently America defines it a little differently because America, but
Is that just because they measured it in yards instead of meters?
Yeah,
Is that
basically,
it?
it's like feet.
It's an
whatever.
imperial Kármán line.
Yeah. So
Right.
the Kármán line says that 100 kilometers above mean angry sea level is considered space. Everything below
Wait,
that
how much? 100?
kilometers, which doesn't. I mean, that's how I felt. I was like 100 kilometers.
Is that far?
It doesn't seem
Is it
that
far if you go up?
I think it might be really far if you go up. Like I can't imagine 100 kilometers is like from.
Like, it wouldn't
not
get
to
us to
pinpoint
Melbourne.
exactly where it is exactly.
But if we were to, instead of travelling towards the CBD, if we were to go up,
So my understanding is that Mount Everest is like 9K, or maybe 8. I could be wrong. I do love my Mount Everest. People dying, but so 100.
so
100
wait, is that higher than if you were to flip it and go 100 kilometres below sea level?
You can't go 100 because the Earth would end. Wait, that doesn't make
Can?
sense.
How
does
deep?
it?
How deep does the ocean get? Find out here. Have fun
Mariana?
looking that up, mate. In the
Fuck
edits.
off.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Yeah. Look. So I was
How
also.
big's the Earth?
I don't know.
I have
Someone's done the.
no relativity
Do you remember
here.
learning like about radius and like crust and mantle?
Yeah, but how big's the Earth and how far away from
Well,
it
again, if we
is
can
space?
drive 100, it does make me want to check that number, but it did say 100 kilometers, so I'm with you. It didn't
Get
sound-
ready for some stats. The Earth is this big.
And space is?
this wide. Space is this far
Wait,
away from Earth. I'm not even like my hand is outside the
That's
frame.
not helpful.
All right, so out here, that's deep space. Here,
Normal space.
that's normal space.
Okay, so let me get you to where those guys got. Now,
Lay it on
obviously,
me.
this is the equivalent of this is dick swinging at its billionairiest. So,
But have they all
Branson-
shallow throat fucked space? Is that what we're looking at?
Well, no, not really. So Branson, his ship went 86 kilometers up. Now, the
Pussy.
Americans define space as 80K up. So technically, according to Americans,
Wait,
he's
are the
English,
Americans
isn't he?
using kilometers?
I don't know.
That doesn't
Alex,
sound right.
I don't know.
So they like 50
as I
miles?
said, not a space nerd. No, it said 80. It defined it as 80. So maybe they're calling it miles. I don't want to do that math. That's boring, and
Well,
I don't
80
care.
miles is kind of close
I
to
don't
100
know. I
kilometers.
don't know. Stop asking these space questions. I've written only this and only this, and this is the only answer that we will find.
What is a mile?
And why? Bezos's ship went 106, so he definitely deep edged on that space vibes. Musk, however, is planning to go 300 kilometers up, which
That's like 3 times
that's
as many
a
kilometers.
lot more. Yeah.
So is that proper space?
I don't know. Yes, I think so. Well, according to the definition of what space is.
How
yes.
deep is deep space?
Well, okay. Again, I didn't write that down on this piece of paper, so if you could stop asking questions that are like, we'll just put the answer here.
Notepad, will I ever find happiness? You can't tell me shit.
Right here. So, our billionaires are like going to space, and it costs
Good for them.
billions
Clive
of
Palmer
dollars
going up
to
in a
do
giant
it.
pineapple next.
It's kind of wild. It seems a little egregious given that the world is on fire, and it also seems a little strange given that right now as they are doing this, California is on fire, Germany is flooding, there are a number of significant climate catastrophe thingies that are speeding up like crazy, and these people who have the money to literally do something about it are going to space.
Yeah, using a forest's worth of fossil fuel to take your space
Wonder what
dick
the carbon
up
credit
into
is for
sky.
going
Yeah.
to space. We're gonna put a clip here of what that Bezos motherfucker looked like when he came back. Yes, he's wearing a cowboy hat. Yes, he thinks he's a
He
space
is?
cowboy.
Fuck.
Yeah.
The most profound piece of it for me was looking out at the Earth and looking at the Earth's atmosphere. Every astronaut, everybody who's been up into space, they say this, that it changes them, and they look at it and they're kind of amazed and awestruck by the Earth and its beauty, but also by its fragility. And I can vouch for that. When I look out, when we're sitting in this room and when we're driving our cars and we're moving around the planet in our normal ways, the atmosphere is so gigantic. We're these tiny little things, and the planet, the atmosphere is so big. But when you get up above it, what you see is it's actually incredibly thin. It's this tiny little fragile thing. And as we move about the planet, we're damaging it. And so that is, that's a very profound. It's one thing to recognize that intellectually. It's another thing to actually see with your own eyes how fragile it really is, and that was amazing.
Did his wife also just leave him? It feels like this is his equivalent of like, no wait, I'm thinking of Gates. Maybe this guy's did too, I can't remember. Probably.
Were any of these people sort of piggybacking their trip off the back of a scientific mission? Or were all three of these missions just solely for the purpose of getting these cunts in space?
Yeah.
Firstly, I love that they couldn't work together on this. That to me is so billionaire dickhead.
Yeah.
That they couldn't be, if we pool our resources, we could be like, no, I want to be the first guy to fuck space.
Yep.
No, I'm gonna like fucking pop space's cherry.
Yeah.
And they want to be the first. The thing is, none of them went further than anyone's gone before.
No.
None of them went higher. None of them went first.
Nope.
What they are is they represent the first ignorant, non-space, not spaceman motherfuckers to go into space.
Yes.
Like, they're the first people to go in space who aren't astronauts, who don't know shit about space.
Yep.
And that's it. That's what they're working towards. What's the first ignorant motherfucker who doesn't know shit about how it works up there to get them into space?
That's right. So Bezos actually talked about the criticism that billionaires, hey, maybe don't.
We spend that money down here, asshole.
Had the goal, because of course he did, to be like, you know what? I just really needed to go up there and see how like fragile Earth is from up there. Like it really helped me to see Earth burning.
So what do you think he sat up there and went, I own that. That's mine. See all that? It's like Mufasa and Simba. All that you can see, that's mine.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a, they like to put it into those sort of like American mythos things where it's like, I always wanted to be an astronaut, and apparently if you cross that threshold, I could be wrong here, but you become technically an astronaut, like that's the threshold for the definition. That seems wrong to me. It seems like you should have to like train.
Like there's still civilians in space.
Me being in a medical theater doesn't make me a surgeon, right?
No, if you just come in, like Louis Theroux is nothing.
If I step in the wrestling ring.
A documentarian.
Yeah.
Everything else he's done, he's been a tourist.
Yeah.
He hasn't been a wrestler.
I guess I admire the like desire for this like exploration and stuff. I get it, because I also am like, space, sci-fi, like yeah. But also, space is uninhabitable. Mars is not an option for us.
Space ain't gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
To anyone alive right now.
To anyone, ever. It doesn't reflect or give us a way out. We have to, like, I feel like it's a little bit of a, you don't want to clean your room, so you go and sit down in the living room or something. Like, no, you need to fix, that's not going to get better on its own. You have to fix that shit. You can't just leave, like, you can't just change rental house.
Yeah.
There is no Earth 2. Space will kill us. It crushes our spines. You can't...
Like, right now, all Earth is doing is keeping space at bay. Yeah. Like, we are in space.
This is the best we're gonna have.
This is our spaceship, okay? We are already on a floating...
disc.
A floating thing that keeps us alive in space. The whole planet is our spaceship. And we're running around opening doors and setting fire to things and stuff. Like, are you fucking... The way these people conduct themselves, if they were on a spaceship, you would think they were insane and you would shove them out the airlock.
They would be
if you lived on a space station,
get them out.
And some guy was running around in a cowboy hat going, woo! Setting fire to food, burning down trees, drilling holes in the side of the ship. You would be like, okay, space madness, and you hit them on the head with a monkey wrench and shove them out the airlock. But these guys are doing that to the spaceship that is our planet. And some people are like, you go! And I don't know. I could almost be like, fine, this is worth it. If any of them were going to come home and be like tears streaming down their face being, I saw how precious our world is, and from this moment on, I'm going to convert all my billions to rewilding the earth for the sake of the environment and stuff, and for, ceasing global warming.
What they're going to do instead? Actually, all of them run companies that are actively contributing to climate catastrophe and anti-union because they don't care about people.
Yeah, we hate the humans and stuff. Like, that's the thing, they're going to come back and go, the worst bit was seeing all the bits of Earth that I don't own. And so my dedication now I'm back is I've realized I've got to fix that.
Yeah, it's really distressing. I guess how... It's not even about... Because they're not politicians, they're not voted. These people are, like, untouchable in many ways because, but they also are just, like, one man. Like, we could have killed Jeff Bezos and just... you know.
You reckon if I ran up with him with a stick and stabbed him,
Give him the jab. Give him the jab.
All his wealth would come into me like killing the Kurgan.
He drops
Highlander.
one little bag and you
Spoilers.
just pick it up and you're like, no, I'm
There could be
billionaire.
only one, and the question is, would I immediately, if I chopped his head
You'd
off
go to space.
and absorbed his millions, would I immediately be like, right, this is what I'm
Colorful
doing.
space.
I'm buying Brazil, and I'm going to home everyone who lives there, but I'm going to rewild every other square inch of that place. Would I do that, or would I immediately go, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to put a picture of my dick on the moon. And would I immediately
Probably the
start
moon dick.
digging holes in the earth to facilitate my mad millionaire's
Absolute
dream?
power corrupts absolutely.
No, I'm a proponent of power reveals.
Ooh.
And the power in these hands has revealed what a bunch of small dick cowboys they were, because these guys have the capacity to change the world for the better, and instead they all engaged in a shameful dick measuring competition in space.
Yeah.
I'm like,
weird.
how can you be the most powerful people in the world and be like, I want to go out there and stuff like, I don't understand. Wouldn't you feel good if you saved billions of people? If you
Think about,
reversed the eradication of endangered species? Wouldn't you be like you guys want to boast and you want to be king shit? Fucking save the whales, and then you could be like, you see them? They
That's
call
not as
them.
cool as being the first country into
They
space,
don't
right?
even call them whales. They call them Branson fish now because they're alive
I
thanks
love
to
a
me.
Branson fish. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got like long hair on all of them, and he's posing with bikini models and whales, and the whales are like.
I mean, I
Which
think
is
it
whale
says
for
a lot
thank
about
you.
the type of person that it takes to become a billionaire in the first place. Like, there is a lot of similarities
Well,
between all three of them, isn't there?
That's just it. Is that along
Worst
the way
people.
you have to make decisions that are like, no,
It's
I
almost
want all
like,
the money.
Alex, the system is broken. Almost. Like,
And it's
not
designed to
great.
facilitate absolute
What's
psychopaths.
that thing in gold panning and like the poos, the turds rise to the top, like the big chunks rise to the top, like the worst fucking people rise to the top of this system. It's just
Well, it's designed to favour them. Because again, along the way, if Bezos had said, oh, no. Like,
You know
every
what?
step of the way is like, we'll give my guys toilet breaks. We'll give them good money.
We won't robotise everything.
We won't obliterate every other business
we won't force people
in
to
the
come to
world.
work during the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah. If he took all those steps, he would be, more altruistic, but he would be less rich. And so it's like, people are like, why aren't billionaires saving our world? Bill Gates' vaccination fetish notwithstanding. And it's like, well, the only reason why they're billionaires is because they're the sort of people
They've
who
taken
don't want
horrible
to save
choices.
the world.
Yeah.
I always think of the Bigger, Stronger, Faster documentary where that guy's talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he's saying, like, the only you got to be an asshole to get to the top
Yeah.
and to win this game. And it kind of feels like that. And that's why they're not using their billions to save the world, and instead they're using it in pissing competitions, is because they're assholes. However, if you are a billionaire and you feel hard done by our little YouTube channel, let us know in the comments below.
Can we have $1 billion?
Nothing would pop me more than Elon Musk being like, well, actually...
You pedo guy.
If you're Elon Musk and you're watching this and you want to get online and call us pedo guys, please let us know in the comments below. And just to be, openly shameless here, if you would like to buy our support, we're quite happy to make the next episode about how awesome billionaires are. Just let us know in our bank accounts.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.